Hey, thanks for making it back to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it today. Today I wanted to talk to you about a new release by the VA and what that could mean, or what kind of insights are going to be there for us as veterans, and what kind of changes that may have for the VA. And when there's changes in the VA, that trickles down to changes for us, right? So at the end of the day, it's just good to keep a pulse on what's happening, and that's what I'm bringing to you. So please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't, share with a friend, all that good stuff. Comment if you have more insight. I appreciate it, and I'll put all of this in the description below as well. So jumping into it, the headline here on this news release is VA releases new workforce dashboard. Now this came out, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, and just kind of getting to it now. This is a short little blurb, little article that I wanted to share with you. So as we jump into it, it says here, VA is now providing more care and more benefits to more veterans than ever before. And in order to continue serving veterans at this historic rate, we are hiring additional staff across the country. We are also implementing new hiring and retention authorities to grow and maintain a diverse, talented workforce that is focused on one core mission: deliver world-class care and benefits to veterans, their families, caregivers, and survivors. Now, I'm going to stop there for a minute. That's a lot of icing kind of, in there. Sure, it's all this glamour kind of words and all that stuff. Here's my thought on it. What that does is that helps to ensure future funding, or current funding, really, for that matter. So all those words come into play later on when they're trying to do cuts or anything like that. So this is all, in my mind, a way for the VA to try to preserve budgets now and ongoing. So that's why you're going to hear a lot of fluff, I think, in this type of stuff. I've been there before, where you need to really, hammer home certain points. So that way, in the event that there's ever the discussion of a budget cut, in this case to the VA, you have some sort of recourse. You have the ability to say, well, if you cut us, we're not going to be able to achieve this. So it'll be on the back of the veterans that budget cut comes, right? So anyway, let's jump back into it. As of April 30th, 2023, VA has hired more than 37,000 new employees since October 1st, 2022, and now has a total workforce of more than 442,000. Additionally, the Veterans Health Administration has increased its total workforce by more than 32,000 during this fiscal year, the highest growth rate in over 20 years. And the Veterans Benefits Administration is now above 28,000 employees for the first time in its history. All of that information and more is now available in today's edition of the VA Workforce Dashboard, and I'll put that hyperlink in the comment section. VA is publishing this dashboard the fourth Friday. So again, the VA is publishing this dashboard the fourth Friday of each month to provide insight into VA's progress growing and retaining its workforce to deliver more care and more benefits to more veterans. So in other words, there's more of us coming, there's more claims being filed by the existing of us already in the VA system, and new veterans coming into the fold, whether it be because of PACT Act changes, or they're just newly out of the military and they're filing a claim for the first time. So with that, let's keep moving. As a part of VA's commitment to transparency, we are sharing the same dashboard both internally and externally to maximize accountability to veterans, families, caregivers, and survivors we serve. Now again, in my mindset, this is a smart move by the VA, because if you're aware that they are trying to make strides towards something. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and say the VA is perfect by any means, but it is a smart move that they try to share this dashboard and milestones or achievements or whatever, however they slice and dice the data, because then you have some insight. And then if it ever comes down to it and the VA is again on the chopping block for some sort of budget cut, they can leverage you and your knowledge through this dashboard to help combat that by having us as the constituency reach out to our elected officials, right, and say that we're not going to stand for that. So moving on, the key aspects of the dashboard include, and they have looks like 6 bullet points here. So these 6 bullet points that are included in the dashboard are the total number of employees on board. Total number of employees onboarded, it should be onboarded, just as onboard with VA. So the total number of employees onboarded with the VA, comparison of VA's growth this year in comparison with prior years, progress toward end of year onboard targets for highlighted occupations across VA, very important. The retention rates for highlighted occupations, and that's a good one too, because you can hire people all day long, but if you don't retain them, what's the point? You're actually spinning your wheels, spending more money, more resources, and actually it becomes a downward drain, really, on your whole budget and ecosystem. So the last 2 bullet points here, the utilization of new authorities granted by PACT Act. And then the last bullet point here is an employee story about why they choose VA and their commitment to veterans. Ending paragraph here says, whether you are a veteran or civilian, VA invites you to come work with the team of committed professionals dedicated to helping our nation's veterans. Take the first step toward joining VA today. For more information, visit the VA Jobs website. So a little plug there at the end as they continue to grow. So if you remember, not too long ago, there was the worry and the kind of, suggested budget cut to the VA. Then there was the agreement made between Congress and the president, and then that got signed, basically keeping the VA whole, actually with a little bump. So we've avoided a cut on the VA side. And again, the cut does not inhibit your disability compensation payments, but it inhibits the VA's ability to function, because if there's budget cuts to the VA, they need to rein in on services provided or staff or what have you. So all of those things then kind of snowball down to us, where it's longer wait times, or maybe facilities don't get fixed, or certain programs get eliminated, that type of stuff. So with that was all avoided. They're moving forward with the hiring aspects. They got some different things on that dashboard. I suggest take a look at it just to keep a pulse on what's going on, right? The VA is our department. They work for us, right? Without us, they wouldn't be here. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.